I'm good. Oh, I do want to know how, like, what the format's like. Like, what do you guys
We don't
do?
have one.
Like,
we
okay,
we really don't have one, dude. So don't worry.
yeah,
It's mostly just like a conversation. Like
Yeah.
okay,
we just talk about shit.
good
Chat,
stuff.
chat shit for an hour or however long or
Like
however short you
we
want to be.
tried having a format, and then we didn't record the podcast for like 5 months. So then we kind of just lost the format.
Yeah,
It happens.
we just got busy, man. Like it wasn't necessarily anyone's fault. Like it just literally everyone was doing their own thing at the time, so it was just like, yeah, we'll put it on hiatus. We did a good amount of episodes. I felt it was really good
Yeah.
when we started. So also, this is the first episode I think that everyone is here as a vapor.
Yeah,
Vape Nation, dude. How'd you
Vape
guys
Nation.
get into vaping? Let's start it off by
Uh,
saying our vape stories.
I mean, I've been vaping for like 7 years now, maybe. I
Damn.
think.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I started smoking when I was 21, going out to the bars, and did that off and on for the better part of like 6 years, and then switched to vaping because it was better.
Mm,
And yeah, I've felt better since. I do want to get off of it at some point, but
same.
yeah, it's an uphill battle.
Trust. That's the same thing for me. Like I used to smoke cigarettes when I was, I think, 17 when I started college in the UK, and I
Mm.
just smoked continuously for like the next 3 to 4 years.
Mhm.
And then I stopped when I was around 21 for about 9 months, and it took one party, and that was it. I went back to smoking for another 3, and now
Oh, wow.
officially I've stopped. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
vape now.
Yeah, vape's definitely better for you, but still not good for you.
Oh no.
Well, that's a good positive start to the podcast, boys. This is episode 2 to the reboot podcast, the depression. All right.
That's what we're calling it.
This is
Depression.
that's the title slate now. It's the depression. Okay. Episode 2. No, it's me, your boy, your skinny penis. No, it's your two co-hosts, Big Mac,
Hello.
me, COOLACETV. Hello, and we have a guest on.
Yes.
Zamzara. I'm sorry, I had to hover over your Discord.
God. I like how this is go on, Sam. What are you say, man?
And you said it right the first time, so good on you.
Thank
You
you.
pronounced it right.
This is a running theme now where we just fuck up the intro, we fuck up the outro, and it's just that this is like now the stage.
You want what the worst part is? The like, we need to get people like hooked in the very beginning. So like, I fuck up the beginning and the end. So I try to make sure that people only care about the filler. Like that's the only part that's important to me. Okay.
Oh my god, we had Spirit God on last week. It's a friend of ours. It's a Finnish DJ, I'd say he is as well, and he literally outroed it, but it was like the most awesome outro because like I used to do all the outros for this, and then Coolace did it once, and he goes, "Well,
Dude, listen.
I think I'll just do it."
I tried doing the outro, and then Fresh kept fucking interrupting me. All right. That was a running theme. Every time I did an outro, Fresh would interrupt me. All right, so I could never do the outros.
Bastard.
I know, dude. I hate it. I hate his guts just for that, man. Honestly.
Yeah. You just need to mute next time. That's it. Just shut them down.
Yeah, dude. Server mute. That's how you get them. Okay.
That's why I just love to do this podcast. It's honestly just the most free flowing thing like that we do.
It's great, dude. I'm just purely just vomiting a bunch of words out of my mouth and just seeing what happens.
I was gonna say, for people that don't know who you are, Zamzara, man, like tell the people who you are, mate, and what you do.
Well, I'm Zamzara. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I do all sorts of different things on there. I tend to focus on something for a period of time, but I'll switch it up. So like right now I stream 3 days a week. So during the week I'll stream. Right now I'm doing a lot of Soulsborne stuff. And then I leave Saturday as like a flex day where I kind of throw something different in there just to keep things interesting. So I've been doing nuzlocke runs. I tried the Evil Dead game recently. I can't think what the last thing I did on Saturdays before the nuzlocks was, but prior to doing the Soulsborne stuff, because I was kind of intimidated by Soulsborne games for a really long time.
I think everyone is.
And yeah, so I never was I tried Dark Souls 1, I tried Bloodborne, and I just couldn't get very far. I would beat 1 or 2 bosses and then just hit a wall. But when I started them on stream, there were people in chat obviously coaching me through certain points just to keep me moving along. And now I absolutely love the whole gameplay style, game mechanics of that, and I cannot, you know, see myself not playing Soulsborne games now.
Yeah,
But prior to that, I did a lot of Call of Duty. I was on Modern Warfare. What was that, 2019?
yeah.
For a really long time. Before it converted to Warzone, just like Fortnite converted to Battle Royale and all that stuff. Like, I don't mind Battle Royale, but I get burnt out on it. Me and Cool Ace were talking about Phasmophobia. It's just like that same thing where it's like repetitive over and over and over and over. And like,
Yeah.
sure, each game is a little bit different, but you're doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
And it doesn't keep me interested.
I get that. That's why I've taken like a little break from Fortnite right now. Because I play a lot of Fortnite, but I've been taking a break for like the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Because I'm just waiting for the next season at this point, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I just can't do like I did a few battle passes for Call of Duty. And Call of Duty, when you're not playing Warzone, stays interesting because you're running through different game modes. When it's
Mm,
just Warzone all the time, I get so bored of it after a
yeah.
certain point, and I just get completely burnt out on it. So I'm pretty much totally burnt out on battle royales right now. But yeah, it's I did that. Used to do like a lot of JRPGs, played a ton of Final Fantasy games. I love Final Fantasy, a lot of JRPGs, like I said, Tales of series, things like that.
Do you ever
A
play
couple.
Persona or something like that?
I haven't touched Persona. I played Shin Megami Tensei 3, I think it was, on 3DS at one point, and I played a little bit of it. But I haven't played any Persona games.
You might like Persona 5. Like my mates always rave about it. Like
Yeah, I've heard a
I'm not
lot of
actually a
really
fan.
good things about Persona 5. I'm not really into those kind of games, but hey, I'm glad that people like it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're intimidating because you're looking at 150, 200 hours for a game, and the life sim portion of it kind of keeps me away from it because that sounds a little boring to me, but maybe it's more interesting once you get in there. But yeah, I played through Mass Effect for the first time
who doesn't love
recently,
Mass Effect, bro?
so I
Wait, you
do
only played
now.
through it the first time?
I haven't even played
Yeah,
through Mass Effect
Bro,
1 and 2. I only started 3.
shame, shame,
yeah, that's
shame.
pretty shameful.
And
Mate, Mass
I
Effects are
played the
great.
demo for Andromeda because I wanted to
Oh
see the
no,
funny running up the stairs legs like animation, you know? And it looked so fucking stupid. My god.
I've never seen this.
I
Oh, dude,
haven't
it's
touched
wonderful.
Andromeda yet.
Don't
I
keep
wouldn't
it
do
that
it.
way. Keep it that
Yeah,
way. Okay.
The
that's kind
original,
of.
original trilogy is the best.
Yeah, I played the first one back in the day, which took me like 3 or 4 false starts before it finally clicked for me, and I got through the whole game. And then I never played 2 or 3 after that. So then when the Legendary Edition came out, I was just like, fuck it, I'm going through the whole trilogy right out the gate. Like we're just playing them back to back to back, and that's what we did. And yeah, that series is amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely adore it.
I love Mass Effect as well. It's great.
I never played KOTOR either, and I just got KOTOR on my Switch, so I've been playing through KOTOR on my Switch like in my downtime. So
Yeah,
that's been fun.
I don't really have like. I never really play games like that though. Like I don't know why Nintendo never interests me. Like as a gamer, I don't even know why. Like I've tried to play them and I just don't see the appeal. Like, well, I can see other people liking them, but for me, I just never. I think the last Nintendo game I enjoyed was Mario 64.
Yeah,
But like since then,
So
there's been nothing.
I get it, right? I the first like big Nintendo thing I got into was like the GameCube, right? I was like really into
Mm.
Luigi's Mansion and shit, and then for the longest time I just didn't give a fuck about Nintendo. Like my cousin had the Wii. I had the Wii. I didn't really play it, but I played. There was like a Nerf game, like a on-rail shooter Nerf game, and it was actually pretty fun. I used to play that a lot, but like, I just during the Wii U era, I did not give a flying fuck about Nintendo. But then the Switch came out, and I heard about Breath of the Wild, and I watched the Game Grumps play through it a little bit, and I was like, fuck, dude. I gotta get this. And like as soon as I got my Switch with Zelda, I sunk like 150 hours into that game. For like
Damn.
I only played Breath of the Wild for like a month straight, dude. Like there's only been a couple games that have hooked me that much, and I'd say the two that really come to mind is Breath of the Wild and Red Dead 2. Okay,
Red Dead 2
is great.
Phenomenal
yeah,
game.
so I started Red Dead 2 on stream, and I liked it, but I was like, okay, this is fine. And then I got to like chapter 4, and then I was like, okay, I understand why everyone loves this fucking game now, because 4 is when like shit hits the fucking fan. You know, like that's when it gets really crazy. It just hooked me after that.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Rockstar games though. I love their storytelling. That's why I hope GTA 6 they do keep, because I bought GTA 5 just for the story, because I enjoy the story of GTA, not the multiplayer. Like GTA Online, I couldn't give an absolute rat's ass about. Literally don't care about it. The single player is great.
Yeah, that reminds me. That's actually what I was doing before I started the Pokemon Nuzlocke. So I play on Saturdays. I was playing through the entire GTA trilogy. So I 100% 3 Vice City and San Andreas.
Ah, damn.
From like it was from like October into December. It took me like 2 months to do.
Still pretty quick, 100% in those games. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of flew through them. 3 is really easy to 100%. Honestly, like you could 100% 3 really quick. Vice City's a little bit longer. San Andreas is the one that's just it's just such a time sink.
There's so much in the game though. That's the thing.
It's so good. So good. All 3 of those games are great.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of I don't know if you watched him, The Completionist.
I love The Completionist.
Yeah, did you watch his San Andreas one? He said it took him like fucking like 2 years to do, because he was just juggling shit so much. That took him fucking ages to complete.
Yeah. And even on this new one, there were a couple like a lot of people complained about the new one for various reasons, but I thought the remastered trilogy was fine.
What'd you
like,
play
it was
on?
serviceable PC.
Yeah.
So there were mods and stuff to fix the issues, which was good. It's kind of shitty to have to mod a product that is like supposed to be finished and then like mod it to actually make it work the way it's supposed
that
to.
Shit just fucking pisses me off. You know, I had to fuck, man. I know everyone says it's not that good, but I wanted to actually play through it myself. I've been playing Borderlands 3 with 2 of my friends, and the game's crashed about 8 times through our 7-hour playthrough. There's a point where you're supposed to talk to Brick. We weren't able to talk to him, so we had to restart the game. There's an enemy who couldn't die, and my save got swallowed up by the cloud. So I don't know whether to be upset at Epic or upset at Borderlands. But either way, I needed to download a fucking save editor to get my progress back. That shit pissed me off, dude. That made me so fucking upset, man.
Did you buy it or did you get it for free when it was free recently?
Here we go.
Listen, all right.
Did I just open a can of worms or something?
No.
Let me just sit back in my chair.
I'm a whore for Fortnite skins. All right. So way back when it was on sale for $30, I bought it because I was like, I'm bound to play this game at some point. I may as well get a skin with it because it had the Psycho skin that came with it.
Hey, you want more?
The skin insanity. So it's water this room. COOLACE is a massive nerd for Fortnite. Just sit for it, trust me.
I fucking love Fortnite. All right.
I know.
And I don't care. I don't care how fucking cringe it is, man. Well, I'm like one of those people, you know. Like everyone's like, "Oh, the community sucks," but like, listen, all right. At least
any community that's comprised of primarily 10-year-olds is gonna suck. So
yeah, like at least with Fortnite, it doesn't have prox chat. You know, it'd be worse if it had prox chat. But like, I play through like Rust, and I just have fucking terrible time, man. I've tried playing Rust so many times, and every single time I end the game session with, man, that
Just
fucking
tears in your eye.
pissed me off, you know? Like, fuck, dude.
Definitely.
But
Rust
I mean,
just reminds me of like DayZ, like
Yeah.
back when it was a mod. Those were the good times.
there's plenty of games I'm a fan of that I know the community is fucking dog shit, you know? Like, fucking Undertale is one of my favorite indie games ever, but I know that community is horrendous, you know? Like, the Undertale community fucking sucks.
I've been warned about the Undertale community because someone suggested to me to stream it, and someone just literally outright just said, "Don't do it. Like, just don't do that to yourself."
Yeah.
Wait, do you know about this as well?
Don't
Sam?
do it.
Yes, I've been told
Don't
the
do
same
it.
thing.
They're like, "Don't do it to yourself." Apparently, they're very
Because, well,
forceful on what you should do and what you should not do.
in Undertale, there's like different endings, right? So there's an ending you get if you're nice to every single person, you don't kill a soul. And then if you kill one person but no one else, you'll get like a mediocre ending. And then you kill everyone and get a different ending. So people will get immensely upset if you kill a single person, and then they will scream at you for the rest of the stream. All right, so you really don't want to play through Undertale on stream. Okay.
So even like, do they get mad when people do genocide runs then?
I have no clue.
Or is that like when it's acceptable to kill
I
people? for
I
them?
feel like they'd still get pissed off at that point.
okay.
They're like, "Why are you doing genocide?" And it's like, "Cause I fucking want to, dude. What do you want? Stop! Get off my back!" Like,
that kind of makes me want to play through Undertale just to troll the entire community.
yeah, just to
and,
piss
like,
people off.
just kill random
That'd be
characters,
funny
like,
as
with
fuck.
with no reasoning, just like, I feel like killing
Just
this
like,
one.
I don't know, dude. My day was kind of shit. I kind of want to kill someone. You know?
Imagine that being the intro to your stream. Yeah, we're gonna go on a massive murder today, boys.
But yeah, like so yeah, back to Borderlands. So what happened? What happened with Borderlands here?
Oh no,
Borderlands
yeah.
3?
I had to use the save editor because the fucking cloud or whatever like swiped my fucking save, and I was like 10 levels lower than I was supposed to be. So at that point, I was just like, dude, I really don't fucking like. I almost quit. I was in the voice chat with my friend Kyle and Waffle, and I was like, dude, I am like a pinch away from fucking quitting. And then Waffle, he was like, no, dude, trust me. All the Borderlands games have save editors. Just fucking use that. Then I like boosted myself a little bit because I'm like, dude, at this point, I deserve it. Okay, like
Earned this.
This shit sucks. All right, so if
I'm
you
already cheating to get back to where I was.
at this point, I may
Push
as
this
well
as far as
help
I can.
myself. All right, come on. But yeah, if
I'm
there's
already
anyone
in the neighborhood,
if there's anyone out there who's thought about playing Borderlands 3, just don't do it, man. Just don't do it. And I feel so bad because my friend Kyle, he like this is his first Borderlands game, and I'm like, dude,
no.
I keep swearing on my fucking life. I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, this is not like the other games. Okay, I swear to God. Because the voice acting in 3 just feels so hollow and like void of life. And there's like so many characters that are stupid, you know? Like the main villain is a fucking like some social media star or some shit. I'm just like, why do you need that in a Borderlands game? Like, why does that matter?
Wasn't there a ton of controversy over the voice acting for Borderlands 3? Like, didn't the dude who voiced Claptrap like not come back for that?
Yeah, I heard he like
things?
didn't get paid or something.
Yeah, so I mean that would track.
The new one sucks. The new voice actor for Claptrap is fucking butt cheeks. All right, because there are points where I'm like, okay, he's not that bad, but then he like goes off on a syllable or something, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm about to throw up because like it gets pretty bad.
He's just like, I heard, this guy thought I wasn't that bad. Hold my beer. Give me a second.
Like, hold on. I'll just make you regret what you just said. Like,
I don't know why people in Borderlands 2 used to hate Claptrap. I love the character Claptrap.
Dude, I love Claptrap.
Yeah.
He's funny, and like the way that like even in 2 in the beginning where like I can't remember fully, but I can't remember
It's a
what the
train
voice
crash,
line
isn't it?
was, but he was like, "Oh, I'm in immense pain and suffering, but I was programmed to sound happy," or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's jokes like that that make me fucking love Borderlands, but there's no jokes like that. There's none.
Oh,
And
don't
Yeah.
worry, we got the movie coming out, mate. Don't worry.
oh, with Kevin Hart, dude, what a time to
As
be alive.
isn't it Nolan he's playing?
He's playing Roland. Yeah, Roland.
Not
I think
Nolan, sorry.
Roland in the games is like fucking tall as shit.
He's
So of
7 foot
course,
something.
yeah,
in
they
the
cast
games.
fucking like 5'4" Kevin Hart to play as this humongous black man. Like, yeah, that's great. That's a good start. Like, come on, dude. It's so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I Borderlands 1 I played, it didn't hook me. But Borderlands 2 was fantastic. I played through that,
Yeah.
played through all the
I
DLC, like had a
love
really
Borderlands
fun
2.
time. Like you're saying, like had soul, had heart.
Yeah, no,
like,
there's so much
had
compassion
character.
in it. But in
Yeah.
3, like, I get that the word midget is like offensive to some people, right? I get that it's offensive. So you
Where are
can
you going with this?
no, I'm not gonna like try to be edgy or anything. They changed the name in 3. They call them Tinks. And I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. I don't know what the fuck a tink is, but whatever. But like it's things like that where like it feels like the game was just trying to appeal more to mainstream, you know, where they try to like make everything feel like they're hip. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
And
boy Randy Pitchford.
you don't need that. Like people love Borderlands 2 so much because like not you don't need super edgy jokes, right? I'm not saying it's as someone who just binged Always Sunny, I'm saying that you don't need super edgy jokes to be funny. You need heart. And this felt I said it while I was playing through it with my friends. I'm like, dude, this feels hollow. Like even the voice actors that were in the previous games sound like they don't give a shit. They sound like they were just there to get paid. And that was it.
Yeah. And that's what it sounds like when I was reading during the development of Borderlands and when all that claptrap voice actor stuff was going down and all of that. It just seemed like a really bad situation to be in at Gearbox for all of these guys who were, especially the voice actors. And it's sad that their performance, like it reflected on their performance.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, you know. It feels like they don't care, and you want to. It's so
because
funny.
they're probably treated like shit.
There was a voice actor, and some people are probably gonna hate me for this, but the only way I recognized him was from Rick and Morty as Water T. They put Ice Cube in the game. Ice Cube is in Borderlands 3. He's like one of the funniest parts, okay? Because
I don't want to play it now.
he's like an AI trapped in a teddy bear. And it's the funniest thing because they're like, why the fuck do you look like that? And he's like, dude, I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so like he was funny.
I've never heard you be so passionate and like I've never heard you have a rant before like that.
But dude, it's just because it sucks, you know? Like I remember back in the day, I used to just we lived at my Nana and Papa's house because my Nana had cancer and we didn't know how long she'd live. So like I would just chill in the living room and I'd play Borderlands 2 just like all day, just running around. You know, even the sanctuary, like the main hub of the game, sucks in 3 because it's the spaceship with layers to it, right? So like there's all these characters. Yeah, there's all these characters you have to talk to, and you have to like fucking run over to a ladder, climb up it, run to the staircase, climb down it, and it's just like, dude, even the Sanctuary is devoid of life. Like if you played through 2, you'd know that Sanctuary has plenty of like citizens, and it even had like things that would happen. You know, there were like random quests, like that person lying dead on the ground. Like that could be a quest. That's not a thing in this. There's not even like gun loot boxes that you can randomly find in the levels anymore. That's not a thing. It's just like little money boxes. That is the only thing you can find anymore. And I'm like, dude, this sucks.
Although I heard that Tiny Tina's Wonderland actually was like really good when it came out.
I
haven't played that yet. I actually kind of want to try.
Good.
Yeah.
People were comparing it to Elden Ring, saying that like it had a perfect release where it had no microtransactions, it had no day one 1 million gigabyte update patch because the game clearly wasn't finished. Apparently, all released smoothly and actually runs, and the story's pretty good to it.
That is the
So I might
one
give it a
thing that pisses me off the most in Borderlands 3 is when you run through the sanctuary, there are these like little posters, right? Now, on some of them you can interact and get a quest, but on others you interact with it and it's like, oh, you need to get a DLC, or like there's this really cool room where you can get loot, but you need these diamond keys. And Waffle looked it up, and you need to get a DLC just to get keys to open this chest. And I'm like, okay, they really just fucking threw this game down the toilet, dude. Like it was rough, man.
Yeah, time gating stuff is something I'm not a big fan of at all.
Yeah.
And when it's like, yeah, you need to get X amount of keys, and I don't know how these keys are dropped, but it sounds like you maybe can only get X amount during like a time period, or maybe you can just grind them forever, but still like gating stuff like that sucks. But that's like worse than hitting an invisible wall on a map or something. Like you're just like, I'm gonna go do this content, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, surprise, you
Give
need
us
DLC.
more money.
Give me
You just spent
money.
$60
I'm like,
on this
dude,
game.
fuck off. Like, I just spent so much fucking money on your game, and you're expecting me to spend more? Like, I was having conversations with Waffle. I was like, dude, because he's a massive fan of Borderlands, right? Like, he also just loves all the games. And I talked to him, and I was like, dude, I would never buy DLC for this game. And he's like, yeah, it fucking sucks. He's like, dude, I'm never going to spend a goddamn dollar on this game. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking blame you. Because, my God, man, it's just rough.
That sucks. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I was just looking on my phone because, like, when you talk about like DLC and stuff, I remember Assassin's Creed Valhalla's like DLC. It's like ridiculously high amount of money. I can't remember how much it is. It's
nothing
like
beats go. How much is it?
I literally was just trying to look it up. I can't find the exact
See
amount.
if you can find it. And
there
also,
was a video about it as well. I remember.
I'm gonna look it up while you're looking that up because nothing beats the Train Simulator DLC.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know this one. It's ridiculous, and also
Dude,
how big it is. It's over 1,000 gigabytes.
I bought Train Sim whenever it was on Humble Bundle for $1, and then I played it. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks.
That's not even the highest either.
No, it's not. There's another game that's like a lot more.
Okay, so Train Simulator, according to Game Rant, Train Simulator, all the DLC at the time of this article, which
this will make you laugh. Listen to this Coolace, mate.
This was March 3rd, 2021, so like a year ago. So I'm sure it's even higher now. But Train Simulator DLC costs $10,373.
Dude, at that point, why don't you just buy a real train? Like, why don't you just invest in a train? If you have that kind of money, just buy a train.
Like, just buy a plot of land and install like a miniature locomotive rail on it, and then just get.
Well, if you have that much money, you might as well. You know, like shit.
Imagine arriving at your homie's house in Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, I got a train, motherfucker.
It blows my mind, dude. Even with like The Sims, you know, The Sims 4, how there's DLC for DLC. Like
that's on this list.
Was it the pets one as well, or something that you could buy more stuff for your pets, like costume? It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, Sims 4 is on this list. It's $510.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's like, damn, man.
That's insane.
GTA Online is $800.
Well, that could be more because of shark cards.
Yep. Dead or Alive 6, DOA 6 is $2K.
Oh my god.
The sad thing is, someone has actually probably spent this money, like
on DOA. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah,
multiple people.
I heard on DOA.
Have you ever met a weeb?
I watched through a Game Ranks video recently where they went over some of the like highest amount of DLC, and I heard for DOA, it's not even like. It's just costumes. And I heard they're not even like they're not even unique. I heard they're just like recolored costumes.
Yeah, dude, palette swaps. It's basically a modern day palette swap.
My god, man. How do they keep getting away with this? Like, I don't get it.
It's the gaming industry for you, boys.
It's Koei Tecmo. They do it. They do it with this. They do it with Dynasty Warriors. They do it with all of their stuff. You know, it's what they do.
Man,
It's insane.
you
And
gotta
they make a
love it.
profit.
Can't live with them. That's it.
The number one
Yeah, go
on
on,
this
number one.
is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's incalculable.
Oh no.
Why is it incalculable? Let me read. A deep and engaging multiplayer mode, zombie horde mode, overly equal to hawk bundles and battle pass content to players. So yeah, it's just like battle passes and the cosmetic bundles they have.
Am I the only person in the world that think battle passes are an actual con?
Oh no, I hate battle passes.
Same. I think battle passes ruin.
Well,
like,
I
gaming.
think if they're done well, I like them. Like, again, I don't want to look like I'm sucking Fortnite's dick, all right? Because like this season's battle pass was shit. All right, I will openly admit that this battle pass was fucking dog shit. But there's like the last one was really cool because you can get fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson as a skin in Fortnite. Like, why wouldn't I want that? You know? But then like there's games like
COD.
I think it's horrendous when you like block
Halo Infinite's the worst.
When you block weapons behind a paywall is like where I draw the line. Like Black Ops 3 is like one of my favorite games of all time, but they promised to not lock any weapons behind a paywall, and then the PPSH came out. And you had to get fucking supply drops for that. It wasn't even it wasn't a set thing. You had to get there were people who spent like fucking over 10 grand in supply drops and probably still didn't get the PPSH. Like, that is where I draw the line. I think, okay, this is fucking shit.
Yep.
I still remember when the Peacekeeper came out for Black Ops 2. That was like the first DLC gun that COD had ever done.
That
was like
where it started going downhill. That's it,
it was
right
1,200
there.
Microsoft points because you got the maps with it and you got the gun. I think it like came with it all.
Yeah,
I believe.
Modern Warfare 2019 wasn't as bad because I think that was Infinity Ward again.
Yeah, it was.
Like Infinity Ward is really the only CODs I like. I don't like the Raven or the Treyarch stuff typically. I did like what was the one?
If you say Advanced Warfare, I'm leaving.
Oh, fuck
no. Because Spirit defended it last week,
and he left. He did.
No, I didn't leave. I was just disappointed.
He never came back.
What was the one? What was the one for like the PS4 generation? It was like the first COD for that generation. No, it was after Ghosts.
We've got Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, Ghosts. Black Ops 3.
BO3.
Was it? It must have been Black Ops 3.
It had like the improved jumping.
I remember Ghost being like, that's when the PS4 and that came out. I think when Ghost, because that's when like Xbox One came out, and that's when like they had the whole debate about having two different versions of the game.
Right. Was Black Ops 3 the one with like the water theme park map on it that had like
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And it was the first one that had the like champions, like operators.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, it was Black Ops 3 then.
That's the one I put a ton of time into Modern Warfare 2, a ton of time into Black Ops 3, but I prefer, like, the point of this is I prefer the Infinity Ward stuff, and they typically don't seem to lean on the DLC stuff that much or paywalling things, because in Modern Warfare even, like, it was just your standard leveling up and you unlock guns as you level up, and as you level up the guns you get attachments, but there was nothing in like a supply drop or anything. That was all cosmetic and stuff.
It was all camos back in the day. That's what everyone cared about, was camos.
Yeah, and I think they went back to that at least for one game.
I like that system though. I prefer it, but not when the challenges are ridiculous.
Yeah, and now I finished a couple battle passes 100% during that time, and there were a couple that I was only missing like 2 or 3 challenges on, and I like those battle passes. But my issue with battle passes is it like makes you feel like you're obligated to play the game, or you feel guilty for
Yeah.
not playing it because you spent $20 on a battle pass and you know if you don't play every day you're not going to finish it.
Yeah.
So like it just make I don't want anything to do with that. And then like I said with Halo Infinite, like it's literally a drip feed. Like
It
you have
is.
to play so much to get
I'm
anywhere in
so
that
glad
battle
I'm not
pass.
a Halo fan, dude. I'm so
I'm
I'm
happy.
not
disappointed. I was
either.
a Halo fan.
I thank
Was.
God every day for not making me a Halo fan because I would be so fucking pissed off right now,
Oh,
dude.
don't worry. The TV show really like stuck the knife in the back to everyone.
Dude,
Trust me.
he finally lost his virginity.
Oh, I wanted to. Someone was gonna get kicked down a flight of stairs that day. When I saw that shit come out, I just went, "This isn't Halo. This is someone else's interpretation of it. This isn't like shouldn't even be a social like the environments in that show, especially the fight scenes, look like a scene from like a Roblox mod. They don't even look like it is so flat and plain. It just it annoys me because everyone was waiting for this show because we got what was it back in 2012? They said that Steven Spielberg was writing or planning on making a Halo film, and then obviously that never got released, along with the Gears of War film that we were promised as well. And then we finally got a TV show of Halo. I figured, yes, this will work perfectly. This makes more sense. Nope, it's dog shit.
Mm.
Yeah, if
Do you know
you
what I
read
mean?
any interviews about the production of Halo, like Koi's here, I'm not a huge Halo person. The only Halo game I've really played is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I played that on Legendary and I was like, why do people like treat this as if it's like the hardest thing ever? And like I was ran through Legendary in like a day on Halo 3, and it was my first Halo game. But I was only playing that. So my funny story with Halo 3 and the reason I got it in the first place even is the Call of Duty 4 beta came out for Xbox 360 a month before Halo 3 dropped.
Yeah.
And I played the Call of Duty 4 beta like non-stop
I don't
until
even
it
know they had a
ended.
beta back in the 360 days.
Yeah, it was a open beta. Lasted a couple weeks and then it shut down, and there was a month gap between the time that beta ended and the game launched. So I needed a
Oh.
filler game. And I was like, I need a game to play and I want a shooter, and Halo 3 just came out. I might as well just buy that and play that. Played
Yeah.
it for a month, like ran through Legendary, finished it, played online for a month. As soon as Call of Duty 4 came out, I fucking dropped it. I was just like, nope,
Jump
I don't
ship.
need it anymore. I'm fine. I've played my share of Halo for my life. And
Yeah, I
never
mean,
played 4, 5.
it's-
I've played all the Halo games. That's
I
the
don't want to
sad thing.
sound
I've
like a
played all of them.
boomer, but like it feels like the same thing, you know? Like I've played through most of the Halos,
But you can
and it
argue
just
COD
feels
is the same thing, though.
Well,
you could argue
but
COD
at
is,
least
though.
with COD, like Black Ops 3 was insanely different from like Modern Warfare 2019. You know, like at least with the, like I
Yeah,
can't
'cause it
say
came out before
much
it.
because I haven't really played through all. I mean, I've played through a good chunk of the Halo games. I've beaten 1. I played through a little bit of 2. ODST is my favorite.
I like ODS too.
I really like ODST. I played, I think it was 4. I had 4 on the 360, and I thought that was decent. I never finished it though. I never played Reach, and then
Yeah.
I played some of the multiplayer in. Like I think we talked about in the last podcast episode, I played some of the multiplayer of Infinite, and it
Yeah.
felt exactly how it did when I used to like hang out with my church youth group, and we'd fucking play like Halo 3 on the 360. You know,
I
like
still
there's
find that
it's
weird
not
how-
different. You know,
Still like where a bunch of Christians played a really heavily sci-fi.
I talked to my fucking youth pastor about that. I'm like, dude, we're killing people. What would
They're
Jesus
just
be happy about
aliens.
this? And he's like, just don't think about it. And I'm like, okay.
It's
Just
Um,
sermon
sci-fi,
next week
so it's
about
okay.
But like,
It's not human, so it's fine.
I heard even some of the like I don't know the names of them, but I heard even some like the game modes that made Halo really fun aren't even in Infinite.
No, they're not.
No.
I heard-
they like rotate them or something. It's something weird. I only
Yeah,
hop on the like
I
when people are
remember
like, "Hey,
that.
we're playing Halo."
I-
Like, all right.
Whenever it first came to Game Pass, I was like playing through it. And I'm like, damn, dude, I hate how this multiplayer works because there was one single game mode I liked, and I could never find it again. And I'm like, okay, I'm not playing. Like that's just how it
I used to play
is.
SWAT. SWAT was the one I used to play a lot back in
Yeah.
the day. SWAT for me was just a lot of fun.
Why weren't you
But
just playing Counter-Strike like a real man?
no, I did. I have over 1,000 hours of Counter Strike. I've been down that
Nice.
rabbit hole. Trust me.
Nice. What
I'm
did you
never
start
going
on
back.
though?
What do you mean?
What Counter-Strike version did you start on?
No. Well, I did play Source because I used to play like Gary's Mod, TTT, and that. I know you're shaking your head in disapproval. Just hear me out.
No,
Right?
no. You guys are just babies. It's okay.
What do you mean?
You're making me old. I started on 1.3.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did play a bit. I have played the multiplayer Source before I played Go, but I wasn't really into it. And then when CS:GO came out, I played it, and I was like, just got hooked on it. And then the skin insanity happened. A lot of money was lost.
Yeah, I
never got
played
into the
through
skins.
Go a little bit, and then like I had a friend try to get me to play Valorant, and I'm like, dude, I just want to play CS:GO. Like that's how I feel when I play Valorant.
Yes,
Because it's made me learn that I like more simplistic gameplay. And I know I said I was a huge fan of Black Ops 3, but I love the way they did that system. Like I really like the champions in Black Ops 3. The one I mostly used was I can't remember his name, but he had the Ragnaroks, like the electric spikes. I really liked that guy.
Yep.
But I saw a meme the other day on Twitter where the guy's like, dude, Valorant is mostly just shooting. And then I saw this picture where it's like 2 fucking ice walls and like 3 different rows of flames. And I'm like, okay, I don't think I played like two games of Valorant and then I uninstalled it because I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I definitely played more than 2 games of Valorant, but it's not for me. Like it's
same.
way too much like League. It's like I don't know. I don't like League
Same.
really at all. I don't like MOBAs at all. And yeah, just like putting champions and those special abilities instead of smokes and flashbangs and stuff is just it felt too off.
Yeah.
And there just ends up being like a meta to it where you just end up, like I said, you end up playing the same game over and over. Where Counter-Strike, because it's so simple, it allows so much fluidity and flexibility. Like you don't really know what guns people are going to be using. You don't know what.
Yeah, that's the
like,
fun part. It's
loadout
not
they're
like,
gonna use. Like
there are of course like guns that people are definitely going to use, like the op or something, but it's not like everyone's going to choose the op, you know, like that's why there's so much of a difference in the match gameplay, you know. And I mean, I don't even really play CS:GO seriously. I mostly just like to jump on there and fuck around on my soundboard. My favorite thing ever that happened was I was playing this match and everyone hated me because I was always the last person and they'd always see me play like shit. So there's this one time, like a couple matches down, where I was the last one and I was like, guys, check this out. And then it was on Dust 2. And you know that little like bridge and there's like that little tunnel you can walk through? I sat at the boxes and I stared into the boxes and I'm like, guys, check this out. I'm going to win. And then I just didn't touch my keyboard at all. I died. And then when I came back, everyone in the voice chat was yelling at each other. I somehow made, in the time that it was only me, I got my entire team to start fucking hating each other. And I think that is the funniest thing ever.
Sounds like the Counter-Strike community.
Yeah, that is CS:GO in a nutshell.
It's so funny, dude. Oh my god. There was this one kid. I'm sorry I cut you off. There was this one kid and I was just like trying to make jokes and shit. I was just telling dumbass jokes and he was like, hey kid, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, dude, you sound like you got bullied in high school for having a long neck. And then he just didn't say another word. And I was like, are you still mad? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. For the rest of the match, he didn't say anything. Oh my god, man. I fucking love CS:GO. But what were you going to say?
I have no idea.
Honestly. It happens.
But yeah, I mean, I started back on 1.3, played a little bit of 1.3, a little bit of 1.5, played a ton of 1.6. Played a ton of Source. I actually played Source semi-competitively at local LAN parties and stuff around. Um, but yeah, like Valorant just isn't it for me. It feels like it's too stacked. Like it feels like there's just a meta to it to shut down the other team where Counter-Strike, no matter what, even if you are, you're down money and the other team is up and they get ops and they have AKs or M4s and they got all their equipment and all you can buy is pistols, like you can still pull that off.
Like there's
Like,
Yeah,
still a
yeah.
chance,
This sort of round
that's
win
what
is
I
amazing.
like, you know.
there's so much strategy to it and just
Yeah.
like map knowledge and being able to exploit angles and stuff. And that's what I always loved about CS was that you could always just, it's so much about map knowledge and just communication with your team
Yeah.
and all that.
Unless they're Russian.
But what about that
It never goes well.
Overwatch 2 reshades though? Huh? What about those
Mate,
those
I'm a
map
fan of
reshades?
Overwatch. Leave me alone. Leave me
Yeah,
alone.
but what about those
Get
map
outta here.
reshades, dude? Dog, I fucking
I-
hate Overwatch, man.
Me
I
too.
love Overwatch. I'm sorry. I love Overwatch, and I hope 2 will like bring it back to its former glory, but it probably
It
fucking
won't.
won't.
Yeah.
I know deep down in my heart, man, that
Just
I know it
like
ain't gonna go back
D2
to it.
Resurrected is supposed to bring Diablo back to its former glory, and like
Ugh.
Diablo 4 is supposed to bring it back, and how this next
Yeah.
WoW expansion is supposed to bring it back. Like, it ain't
Well,
happening. Like, Blizzard's been done.
yeah,
Have you
I
heard
don't
about the I'll go on, Chris.
I don't want to sound like that guy, but like isn't
go.
Overwatch 2 just like the same thing as Overwatch 1 basically? Like
It
how
is,
how
but, like,
different is the gameplay?
they're changing a lot of the abilities of a lot of the heroes. They're going to introduce a lot more heroes, and it's just like the maps they're changing. The game is kind of broken at the moment though, because like they made a healer that was kind of underwhelming in the first game, but they've made him like super OP now, and they've made Soldier, which is like the basic DPS, just absolutely like a tank now, and it's
Yeah.
a bit all over the place. But
Well, my
yeah,
thing is like
I'll wait for it.
why didn't they just merge more content in the first one? Am I missing something?
The
Like,
game, no, the first one, it's so far gone beyond repair. Like what was his name? What's his name? Jeff, fucking the former director
Kaplan?
of Overwatch. Huh?
Jeff Kaplan.
I think that was his name. He basically fucked it. He made the game really good and it was amazing, but then he kept fucking it and fucking it and fucking it. And even though he knew the relationship was over, he kept fucking it and then just fucked the game completely to the point where the game was in a horrible, horrible state.
yeah.
So yeah, it's in a little bit of a better place, but the game is just fucked beyond repair. Like people just keep coming and fucking it, and yeah, that's the way I describe it. The game's fucked. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Sure. So Overwatch 2 is meant to like do like bring the stuff from 1, but make it what it should have been, like the whole envision of it. But I don't know whether it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen though that they are now finally addressing the bot problem in TF2?
Finally, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Finally.
they made an article that Valve are actually going to address the bot problem in TF2, and everyone's just saying just remaster the game.
The social
or just
media guy
redo it.
finally logged back into Twitter after a long, like, what, 5-year hiatus. He finally
More
logged
than
back
5 years.
in, and he's like,
Our
"Hey
Lord and
guys,
Savior, Gabe Newell.
we heard it's pretty bad." So they
Because apparently the reason they're doing it is because a lot more people are logging on and playing TF2 now more than ever. And everyone's like, where the fuck does this come from? I'm like, because I used to play a shit ton of TF2 when I first got
me
my PC. So I'm quite surprised how like there's a bunch of new players on now. I'm like, why? This games are old as fuck, but it's one of those games, like you said, it's so simplistic that like it works.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
it's just one of those.
there's
formats.
always those games that like I go back to, right? Like when I can, I even go back to like Black Ops 2. But like Black Ops 2 on the PS3 is so fucked right now. Or at least anytime I log into a fucking match, it's like each step is only like a centimeter, and I just get fucking insta-gipped, and I'm like, okay, well this kind of fucking sucks, you know? Like there's always those
this is
games that
why-
people like to go back to.
This is why I emulate a lot of my like PS2 games and stuff. Like I use a lot of emulators just to go back and play games from a child. that are,
Yeah, I
like,
recently started getting
timeless to
back
me.
into emulators because there's like a couple games that I always go back to, and like two of those is Tony Hawk's Underground 2 and Time Splitters Future Perfect. Those are like two games that I will probably for the rest of my life go back to and replay them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's fucking great. For me, the game I always go back to Resident Evil games. So
Yes.
Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4.
A man of culture.
Yeah, I just beat Resident Evil 4 and Separate Ways yesterday on my Switch because it was on sale. So I was like,
oh, dude, I want to get on my Switch so bad, man. I feel like that's like one of the best games to get on the Switch because it's so replayable.
Do you know what makes me laugh about RE4 though is the fact that when they did the whole HD upscaling thing, they didn't even bother with Separate Ways or like with the Ada Wong. So they didn't even bother. So it's still the same cutscenes from the PS2 or whatever console they call it from. Yeah, it makes me laugh. I'm like, I don't even want them to change it because I just feel like it's funny. I love seeing really it. Like all these HDs of like Leon's hair and stuff, and you just see some really horrible grainy pixelated.
Right,
cutscenes. It's great.
I finally, I wish I would have played Resident Evil back in the day.
Oh, I should have, man.
I can't remember what the first one I beat was, but I think it was 7. It was either 7 or the RE1 remake. But
that's mad how like 7 or RE1 remake is like your first.
Well, yeah. You're making me feel old again.
I played through. Well, so back in the day, I did touch RE4 a little bit, but I was at like the part right before you fight. I'm gonna sound really fucking stupid here, but it's the part right before you fight that really buff dude in RE4 or whatever.
Kruger.
Yeah, you fight him.
Kruger with a knife.
And I just
first fight or second fight.
I have no clue because
probably the first fight then.
I got onto the game my first ever time playing it, and that was the only save. So I logged onto it. I'm like, okay, this looks kind of scary, and I never touched it ever again until like 2016, 2017. And I'm so glad I finally played through them because RE4 is just so fucking good, man.
I'm like a lot of people hate me for this. I don't like RE1 at all.
Yeah,
not even the remake.
No, I don't like it.
What the
can't.
fuck is wrong with you?
I played it several times. I got far into RE1, the remake, right? And I just went, this is boring to me. Like, I don't know why. I just got so bored. But then I go and play like RE2 or Nemesis on the PlayStation 1 or whatever. And I'm like, this is great. Like, I love this. But 1, I just can't do it.
Part
of
me
just bores me.
Part of me gets it because there are some sections I didn't care for in 1. Because again, I'm not like nostalgic for it, but there are sections where I'm like, okay, this is kind of meh. But like, there's other times where like you have to let the game like capture you. You know, it's just like with like Breath of the Wild or like Red Dead 2. Like you get immersed in it. You know, and like there's that.
Red Dead 2, I got immersed in a hell of a lot.
There's that point where like you're walking through the hallway and a dog jumps through a window. I almost shit my pants. Because I was like so into it that I was like, holy shit, I'm about to fucking die.
Like, that part is so brilliant because you walk past those windows the first time and like you hear dogs barking, but nothing happens. So you think you're safe, and it doesn't. And it's not until you're passing back past them like the second or third time that they break through. So you go past those windows like 2 or 3 times and nothing happens, and then you go past them one time and just like all the windows shatter, and then you're fighting. Like,
I love shit like that.
What the fuck happened?
I love shit like that so much. Like me and Big Mac were talking about that game Pyrocynical talked about recently.
Oh, what the Doom Eternal mod?
Yeah, it was a Doom 2 mod. I can't remember the name of it. But
Doom 2, sorry, not
there's always I think he said doors are normally like a safe spot. Like you always open a door and you don't expect anything on the other side. And there's this one moment like deep into the game where you open a door, like nothing happens, and then a second later something like jumps out at you. And I love shit like that where like it takes like that's why I really wish Resident Evil 7 would have done something like that where you were just like chilling in a safe room and something just like fucking jumped out at you. Like I love RE7. I think that is like personally my favorite Resident Evil because it's the one that I just sunk the most time into. But
I
It would
didn't
have been
like Resident
funny.
Evil 7 when it first came out though.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get
But
into it?
then I bought it, I think, 2 years after it released,
Yeah.
and then I actually really liked it. Weirdly, I
You
was
want to know
like,
what
I
got
know
me
this isn't the
so
Resident
into
Evil
it?
I'm not used to, but I was like, this game is actually pretty decent.
I
I actually
had
rate it.
I had PSVR and I played that on PSVR and I almost shit my pants, dude, because I also played on Madhouse and it like
Oh,
it
fucking
switches up the enemy spawning. So like
yeah.
because I already played through the game like 4 or 5 times because I was trying to get all the unlockables like the speed shoes and the fucking buzzsaw and shit like that. So I played through it and specifically right after you walk through the hallway from that room with the lady in the rocking chair, you know? Um
Yeah.
and there's like that staircase that goes down. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I know what happens here. And then one of the mold monsters pop out, and I fucking pause the game and like throw my headset off. I'm like, dude, I don't think I can play this right now. Like, it was so good.
I unfortunately have never played in VR. I actually was trying to hold off on playing Resident Evil 7 until I could play it in VR for the I wanted to experience it in VR for the first time,
It's
but
so good.
Yeah.
never had a headset, never got PSVR, and I finally bit the bullet like you and got it like 2 years after release and was just like, fuck it. I'm probably not getting a VR at this point, or at least not for a long time, so I'm just gonna bite the bullet and play this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fell in love with it.
It's so
But 2
good.
I
is
like
my
how they
favorite.
changed it though.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you prefer the original 2 or do you like the remake better?
I think they're pretty even keel for me. I like 2. 2 was the second PS1 game I got. So I got PS1 like Christmas of 99, I think, or 9 it was either 98 or 99. And the
Yeah.
only game I got with it Christmas Day was Driver.
Oh,
Which
Driver was an amazing game. I love Driver.
yeah,
Classic.
but I'm like 10 years old trying to beat that first training mission
Oh yeah.
and like could barely get past it.
I must
And
have
I
been 4 or
eventually
5
did.
at the time when that came out. Jesus.
Yeah, and couldn't get past it, was frustrated, and I was like, I need to get another game because this is just frustrating me. I eventually did get past it and like beat the whole driver game. But yeah, we went out the day after Christmas. I had Christmas money or gift cards or something, and went and got Resident Evil 2.
As a
And
10-year-old.
yeah, and it was yeah, it was like one of these things where you're just like, I've always loved horror, like even from a young age, I've been super into horror. So this was before magazine. Like I had the Nintendo Power and occasionally like
Oh,
Electronic
that stuff.
Gaming Monthly and Game Pro and stuff.
Oh, I
But
remember those.
it wasn't like we didn't have like IGN and like
Machinima and all
GameSpot
that back
and
then.
Yeah.
Machinima. Like, so I didn't know. So I was literally just at the stores looking at covers of games, and I was
That's
like,
how you used to buy games though. Like you just
yeah.
look at the back of them. Like you never had like some idiot reviewer from IGN giving it a 7 every fucking week. Like, do you know what I mean?
So you could like give games a chance and like go in totally blind without any sort of like preconceived notions of what you're going to experience. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that cover looks cool, the back looks cool, let me get that game. And yeah, that it was solidified. And at that point, after I took it home and played it a little bit, I was like, yeah, this is once I got the tank controls down and figured out how I was supposed to handle that game.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, and then I remember renting the first game, the director's cut of the first game,
Yeah.
back then too, and I was just like, well, now I know why I like obviously Resident Evil 2 is far superior than that first game or the
Yeah.
director's
Yeah.
cut of that first game. But the remake of RE1 is so good. Like it's up there with RE2 for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both the remake and the original RE2 are very similar for
I
me
like the
for different
remake.
reasons. Like I have a very hard time picking between because I'm so nostalgic for the original,
Yeah.
even though it's clunky, it doesn't look great, it's cheesy, bad voice acting, all like the whole nine. And but 2 is like so polished and well done
It
and
is.
fluid,
Yeah.
and just the way Mr. X chases you throughout that game, like it's just
It was
it's
it was a
so
perfect game.
Yeah.
It was a perfect remake of a game. Like
I
honestly, it was
I
pretty
absolutely
good.
loved 2, the remake, because my first playthrough I played with mods, right? Because I already knew that Mr. X would follow me the entire time. So I installed a mod. I put a mod that gave him train chugging sound effects when he walked, and he was Thomas the Train. So the entire game, I
saw a
shit my
video.
pants because Thomas the Train was trying to beat my ass. It was so
Have you
funny.
seen the mod of that game though, where someone put Mr. X, but his X gonna give it to you?
Yes, I watched
It's
it
so funny.
before, like the DMCA shit was going down on Twitch. I had a friend who played through RE2 Remake with that mod on, and every time the N word would come up, he'd be like, Mr. X, why would you say that? Just, it was so fucking funny, dude. Oh my god.
Gaming is so great sometimes when stuff like that happens. It just is so funny.
Yeah, dude.
There's a whole mod pack that somebody put together that replaces a lot of that stuff in Resident Evil 2. And the next time I play it on stream, I'm going to use that mod pack. And it's just like, I forget what it's called, but it's like a chaos mod pack. And it just changes so much shit with the game and the models and the sounds. Like I think from Wild Thornberries, is it Norbert?
Nigel?
Oh, Nigel.
Nigel
Thornberry.
So Nigel Thornberry is in there.
That's so funny.
I'm pretty sure he's Mr. X.
Oh my god, dude, I'd love that.
Yeah, there's so many absurd characters. Yeah, if I find it, I'll link it to you.
Oh, definitely, because I need to see that.
The funniest one for me was like someone did the mod pack where it was like they replaced every enemy with Mr. X or something like that. It was just like absolute just chaos.
That's so funny.
Would hate it.
I love
so
mods, man. Mods really make a lot of things replayable. Like one of my YouTube videos, it's funny because I was able to push out this video like during the Spider-Man No Way Home hype. I played through Dark Souls, but my character was Spider-Man, and I was drinking Mountain Dew. Yeah, dude, I love that video. So I was able to put so many like Spider-Man memes into my video, and the fucking Mountain Dew Estus flasks and shit. Like it, I love mods, man.
That's brilliant.
They make it so good. There's games where I wish they had more mods. You know, like a game I really wish was way more modded is Outlast. I'd love to see just like a heavily modded run of Outlast, where like someone turns like Chris into like fucking SpongeBob or some shit. Like that'd be so fucking funny, dude.
That would be. Oh my god.
I'd fucking love the shit out of that, man.
Good stuff.
One thing though, like Skyrim though, like being heavily modded is also like another curse thing.
I was just talking to my buddy about this last night with Fallout 4 and Skyrim. I've been looking at both of those games because I kind of want to replay them, but I also don't want to spend 12 hours installing mods for them so I can play them.
Yeah.
Because there's just like, there's so many little quality of life things that I want and different visual tweaks and things like that. It ends up taking me 12 hours, especially Skyrim. Fallout's a little quicker, Fallout 4 especially, but Skyrim, I always, for some reason, I always spend 8 to 12 hours modding that game. Like, I'll just take a whole day modding it, not even play it once, and then jump into it. And then I get like 40 hours in, and then I fall off. And I'm like, why did I even spend like a quarter of my time, like, just modding this?
Yeah.
And then I don't even finish it. I've still never finished the main quest of Skyrim.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Finish that by level 60. It's not even that much of a big quest.
I get distracted by side quests.
That's what makes the game so good though. That's the thing.
It really
about
does.
Games like Skyrim.
Yeah, and
a controversial opinion I have is that
fuck off.
I don't like Skyrim. I don't know.
You've made this known before.
Yeah, I know. I just don't like it. You know, I mean, I don't know.
I don't like any other Elder Scroll games.
Yeah.
I don't like Morrowind. I don't like Oblivion.
I wasn't a fan of Oblivion either.
Skyrim's like the only one. Maybe I'll like the new one, but yeah, Fallout 3, New Vegas, 4, I think are all probably superior in my opinion to Skyrim.
New Vegas is the best one out of all of them though.
New Vegas for sure.
I think most people would agree that New Vegas is the best one.
Yeah. It's just I just like the setting of it. Like 3 is still good. Like there's no like doubt that 3 is still really good, but New Vegas is like I just prefer.
I think it's just got a theme that you can't beat. You know, like it's
set off way after the bomb drops, so it's like a lot more stuff has progressed.
And
So
like
there's like a
you can go in
civilization
a
there.
like the fucking cowboy spittoon. I can't remember what it's called because I didn't really
With
play
the
New Vegas
casino.
that much. No, the one with the black cowboy in a rocking chair and he's like sitting out front. It's at like the very beginning of the game. I can't remember
Yeah.
what the name of it is.
I think I know what you're on about.
Yeah, I
Um,
know what you're talking about. I forget the name of it
but
though.
even that, like I don't really like those kinds of games that much. I don't know why they just don't really click with me. But even with New Vegas, I sunk some time into it just because I love the environment so much. I think it's just really cool, and even like the little Easter eggs, like. I absolutely love that you can find a fucking refrigerator with like a dead Indiana Jones in it. Like that made me so fucking happy to see.
There's so
Um
much little storytelling in Fallout games like that.
Yeah.
They have a little bit in Skyrim, but I think Fallout does it really well, where it's a lot
Mm.
of environmental storytelling, where you just
yeah.
like go into a place and maybe you'll pick up a journal or read a computer log or something like that, and it'll kind of give you a little idea of what happened, and then you just like turn around and then like see the like the outcome of everything that just happened. You're just like, oh, and like you mentally connect all the dots, and it just
Yeah.
like there's just so many moments like that where everything clicks and it just feels so good.
Yeah. That's where they
But new
messed up with Fallout 76 though.
fuck no, fuck that game.
Yeah, fuck the game. Good, I'm glad we all agree.
Yeah,
Cheers.
fuck that game. But New Vegas is good because of the faction stuff. Like it's the one, I think it's the one out of any of those Bethesda run like Elder Scrolls and Fallout games that you actually feel like you have an impact on the world. Like Obsidian did a really good job of
Yeah.
like making choices have impact, making choices feel like they were had a lot of weight to them, like the stakes were high.
Like especially with the
um
Legion quest as well.
yep, yeah,
Especially with
like
that one.
yeah, you have like three different options. You could like either like tell both factions to fuck off, go with the Legion, or go with like Kaisar's men or whatever they are.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's just one of those games that just I feel is like super magical. But I can see why people don't like it. It took me a while to actually get into those games.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're
I
in
had to put
depth,
my
that's
most
why, like, to really appreciate them, you have to be kind of in with it.
yeah,
No,
it's
not
like
like
Dark
just
Souls or anything.
Well,
Like you
yeah.
just have to spend that time with it.
yeah. Again, maybe I just wasn't in the right vibe because there's a lot of games where like
Yeah.
I I hate them at first, and then I just end up loving them. Like I always tell about like specifically Bloodborne because I tried Bloodborne on 3 separate occasions, and then finally in like 2019 on stream, I played through all of that game, and I was hooked. I fucking loved that
Mhm.
shit, man.
I never used to
Yeah.
like Dark Souls 1 though. I used to hate that. I started with Bloodborne, and then I did DS3, and then when I was like thinking of like new stuff to do on stream, because I used to just do a bunch of random stuff. I was like, I actually need like something like an actual game to play. And my mate said to me, play DS1. I was like, yeah, but no one wants to see me like get pissed off at that game every 5 minutes. Oh boy, now it's now it's a staple.
Yeah, I like I was saying before, like not only Dark Souls, Bloodborne, but also Mass Effect. Like it took me 3, 4 false starts. Like start like Mass Effect, I would get to the Citadel and just be so overwhelmed with all the people to talk to and
Yeah,
all the different side quests that were starting, and I was just like places I couldn't get to yet, not understanding why I couldn't get there, not understanding the way the world worked and how the developers wanted me to interact with that world,
yeah.
and the same can be said for Dark Souls. But once you hit that point and it clicks, and the thing that pisses me off about Dark Souls is a lot of people tell people like just go into Dark Souls blind, don't read anything about it, like
It's the
just
worst thing
go
they do though.
in. Yeah, like that's why I
Why?
didn't like Dark Souls. Like I didn't like it because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And then as soon as I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Dark Souls, I'm gonna beat it. Let me go read a little bit about it. I read a little bit about it, and then I started. I was like, oh, this all makes sense now. Like I
Yeah,
fucking love this game now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that pissed me off that the community of Dark Souls is like, no, just go in without any information at all. Like, don't do any reading about it. And yeah, it totally messed me up on my first like three. I probably started Dark Souls 1 like 6 or 7 times before I started on stream.
mine was
And
3. I think 3 times it took me.
yeah, it's just I couldn't tell you how many times I started on 3 or would it have been 360, I guess?
Yeah, it would have been for Dark
So
Souls 1.
yeah, so I played it on 360. I probably started it on there 3 or 4 times. Started on PC probably 3 or 4 times, and then when the remaster came out, I got that and just buckled down and was like,
Yeah,
"Let's
that's
do
when I
this."
buckled down as well, was when the remaster came out.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I
Yeah,
don't like about the Souls community, though, is how they don't like Sekiro, and I fucking love Sekiro.
I
I
like
want to play
Sekiro.
through Sekiro. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale low enough for me to like want to
Yeah,
buy
it's
it.
always quite pricey.
And if I don't like it, I won't feel bad for the money I spent. But like it's always like $30, and I'm waiting for it to go down to like at least like 15, and then I'll
Okay.
probably get it. But like I I've heard from even like hardcore Souls fans say that they don't really like it that much, but I want to go into it with my own opinion. I'm waiting for
Yeah,
it to go down to
I
low
love
enough of a
Sekiro.
price because I think I'd like it.
I
I just haven't tried it yet.
I just love the combat in it. I just think it's so like engaging. That's what I
Yeah,
love about it. Like how it's so aggressive and so in your face, and I love that kind of. That's why I like Bloodborne so much, just because like of how like intense the combat can be. With
Right.
Sekiro, you felt right in it. I mean, with the whole parrying and deflecting.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just commented on a should I buy this Reddit where someone was like, I want a game, or I beat Elden Ring and I want another game similar or something along those lines. And I commented, I was like, yeah, like Dark Souls is gonna be great, but if Dark Souls is chess, Bloodborne and Sekiro are like speed chess. Because
Yeah,
it's so much faster. There's no shields to block anything. The parries are super active compared to, and super quick compared to any of the Dark Souls games.
yeah.
But in my opinion, if I had to rank them based on what I've played so far, I would rank Bloodborne number one, Sekiro number two, Dark Souls one number three, then probably Dark Souls 3, and then Dark Souls 2.
Oh, man of culture. Thank God.
I
I respect that ranking fully. You have no idea how happy you've made me right now. I'm
it's
so happy with you.
it's really hard for me because I love Bloodborne so much, right? But I don't know. Part of me just likes Elden Ring better because I don't know. I
I
think
haven't played it yet.
Really not.
I recently
Damn.
installed a multiplayer mod, and that's just like kickstarted my want to play the game again. Because I'm gonna be honest, I absolutely love Elden Ring. The multiplayer, fucking, it's so annoying, man. Like you have to like buy this item and craft it to be able to summon your friends and shit, and it feels dated, right? Because the game's going for this new vibe, and for almost all of the game, it succeeds in being like someone put it really well. It's not like a free roam Souls game. It's like if you took one giant Dark Souls map and just made that a game. Because there's like
Yeah, I agree
even
with that.
shit from like fucking like you there are plenty of moments where like you go to like this castle and you there's so many different routes that you can take that like even I didn't know about because you always can jump to a certain section and in your gamer mind you're like, "Oh, I'm cheating the system." But then you find an item that was planted and I'm like, "Oh my god, they knew I was gonna do this." Like that's the kind of shit where I know that they put their heart and soul into that fucking game. And
Yeah, From
I
Software is
absolutely
very like
loved it,
dedicated to
dude.
their games.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But
I
I'm
can't
looking
wait to
forward to the
play it.
DLC.
I'd probably have to rank Elden Ring as my one, and then Bloodborne, and then Dark Souls 1 because I haven't played through Dark Souls 3. I tried playing through 2 and I that was right
Don't do
before
2.
that
It
was
was so
right
painful.
before Elden Ring came out. So I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. And then I tried giving it a shot and I was like, okay, it's decent right now, but I feel like it's gonna get a lot worse. So I just dropped that game
It does.
entirely. I didn't because I
Start-
don't like I always talk to people and they're like, "Have you played Dark Souls 2 yet?" And I'm like, "No, I hear it's the worst." And they're like, "No, it's just the worst in the Souls series." And I'm like, "So why the fuck would I play it? Why should I play it? Like why should I ruin my palate and play it?"
Yeah, I had people coming into my stream when I was playing through it, and they were like, "This is my favorite Dark Souls game," and I
Ugh.
was like, "Well, I don't know that I can trust any of your opinions now."
It's-
They helped me play it. They helped me get through it easier because they knew the game. But their point was it has just more bosses because there's like 30 some bosses in Dark Souls 2, which
I
I think
think
is
it's
way
50.
too.
I think it's 50, isn't it? In Dark Souls
Maybe
2.
with a DLC
Yeah,
and
maybe.
optional
There's a lot.
bosses. It's somewhere between 30 and 50. I think 30
Mm.
base game and then maybe upwards of 50 whenever
Yeah.
you include all the optional and DLC stuff. But even like it's bloated in my opinion, and I don't think since there's so many, I don't think each one got enough polish. And I kind of
yeah.
feel that way about Dark Souls 3.
Mhm.
Really? I like
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3. I still think of Dark Souls 3 quite highly.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 has made me the most mad so far out of any of the Souls games that I've played on
Have you got
streams
to Slave
recently.
Night Gale yet, by any chance?
No.
Oh, wait till that happens.
I just got through Farron Keep, I think
Oh,
is what I just
alright,
played
so
through.
that. Oh, so Abyss Watchers then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that whole area pissed me off to no end. And
Yeah.
like that's the other thing is like I go through these difficult areas and I spend hours and hours and hours just getting through the area, and then I get to the boss and then I beat the boss in 2 tries. It's like this is so uninventive. Like the
Yeah.
Deacon boss, it's just like
Yeah,
this is
Deacon's are deep.
boring.
Well,
Abyss Watcher wasn't even that hard.
I
Like
like Abyss Watcher. I think they're quite a cool
that's
design. Like, they get better later on, I feel, in Dark Souls 3. It gets a lot
I'm
better
hoping.
later.
I'm only like maybe 10 to 15 hours in.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's
we'll
like
see.
that's the one reason I have Dark Souls 1 ranked lower than Bloodborne, because I love the environment in Dark Souls 1. I absolutely love it. But in my opinion, after ONS, the game's kind of dog shit. Like I
I
didn't
agree.
think it was that great. Like I didn't parry at all in the entire game. And
Fuck.
maybe that's stupid, but up until right before I fought Gwen, someone in my chat was like, "Do you know how to parry?" And I'm like, "Fuck no." And they're like, "Well, you should learn." And I learned how to parry in like 3 minutes, and I beat Gwen
Yeah.
in 2 tries. And I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah,
"Are you kidding me?"
Gwen is
ONS
really easy
is
to
one of
fight
the
as well.
hardest bosses in my personal experience that I've fought in a Souls game. And then the boss to that game, I beat in like a couple tries, and that made me
Yeah.
so fucking pissed off.
The DLC
yeah.
does make up for it, though.
Whenever I beat Gwen for the first time, I was literally like, he's going down, and I'm just like, that can't be it, right?
Dude,
Like
that's what
not
I
it.
did. There's a clip of me on stream, and I'm like, dude, this isn't over, right? Like, there's
Same.
more to it. Then people in my chat were like, no, you beat it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean,
It's so underwhelming. It's so
it
underwhelming.
sucked, dude. I don't like the second half of that game. I love the first half
And
like
then you played
so fucking
Bloodborne.
much. Yeah, no, I played Bloodborne first.
Right.
That was actually like my
Yeah, but then
like there was a consistency
the
to
last
it.
boss in,
You know?
in Bloodborne, though,
That
like,
last
that's
boss
the last boss.
beat my
Gurman,
ass.
and
He fucking kicked.
Yeah.
Dude, I spent like 2 or 3 full streams on that motherfucker. He beat my fucking
Wait
ass
until
to a
you-
pulp.
yeah, it took me basically almost 2 streams to beat him. The better part, like of one full stream, and then like the better part of the previous one, to beat Bloodborne, to beat Gurman and the Moon Presence. But if you think that's hard, fucking the last boss of Sekiro,
Oh, Ishin.
yeah,
That
like
sucks. That was a
Genichiro,
journey.
Oh boy.
Ishin, like at the end where you have to fight them back to back, basically.
It's 4 phases, isn't it? I think. If I
So the
remember.
last boss is 4 phases, and it is a big old pain in the ass.
Once you get it down, though, it's not too bad. It's just getting the final 2 phases is when it could get really tricky. But there's certain cues you can get him to do certain moves where you can just do the Mikiri counter, which makes it a lot easier to build up.
Yeah, it's funny.
Posture damage.
Gurman took me so long that I started making a routine. Okay, my routine was that I fought him until I ran out of vials, and then I teleported to the beginning game town. And there's like that little section where you run down a staircase and you can either go inside a building or go to an elevator. and I would farm the
Yep.
two
Yeah.
bosses, not two bosses, like those two big guys.
The
I'd
troll
farm
dudes.
them. Yeah, I'd farm
Yeah.
them for blood vials, and I did that for like hours on end until I
Or
finally
you
beat
could have just used a
Kermit.
challenge dungeon code.
No,
Or you could have went to the lecture hall and
listen,
killed those
No.
guys
there was a
there.
lot of things that
Because the
I
lecture
could
hall
have
gets you
done,
like 10K.
but I was
Yeah,
stupid. Okay.
if you go to the first floor of the lecture hall, you could kill like a dozen of those scholar dudes, and you'll
Yeah.
get like somewhere between 10 and 15,000 blood echoes, and then you could just stack blood vials that way. That was
We
my
had a
routine.
debate on the stream whether it was like, are we fine instead of me just farming? Can I just use this challenge dungeon that we know of to just get a bunch of blood echoes and just to buy them from the shop, just so I don't have to spend like an entire stream doing it? And everyone was like, "Yeah, do that, please."
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I don't really want to farm on stream for everyone."
Buying them was so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man,
God
what a
damn.
good fucking game though. Like I'd say probably, like, I always had trouble debating it in my head whether I liked DS1 or Bloodborne more, because the combat in Bloodborne is like leagues better. Like I don't, it's
Mhm.
just so, it's because I'm more of like in COD, like on BO2, I'd always run Scorpion. Like I ran Scorpion with the extended mag and the fast firing, and I would just fucking run in there. You know, like that's the kind of person I am. So Bloodborne is a lot more akin to that, whereas like Dark Souls 1 is way slower, but the environments in Dark Souls 1, like fucking Anor Londo, whenever you first land there, I was just like, my mind was blown. I was like, this place is fucking beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's expertly designed. Like that
Yeah.
is expert game design. Like I think that should be like that's a gold standard for how an interconnected map should work.
Especially in
Like
remastered, it looks even better.
It's insane,
yeah,
man.
just the way everything loops in that game, and like it's linear, but there's a couple branching paths and there's hidden paths, but
Or
it
that
always like
bridge with
leads you
that
back
night
somewhere.
on.
Yeah,
That
I
right.
had my
fucking
mind
asshole.
blown. I had my mind blown so many times by the Souls games, especially Bloodborne, because like you, I can't fully remember how it went, but you were like in that kind of circular hallway, and then you open it up, and you're like back towards the beginning of the game or whatever. And I was like, dude. Someone in my chat was like, "Does this look familiar?" And my jaw fucking dropped, dude. I was like, "Holy shit, this is
Yep.
fucking badass, dude! Like that is amazing. It's just
Yeah, it's
so
fantastic.
fucking, it's so good, dude.
I
Oh,
can't say enough good things about Bloodborne.
yeah.
Honestly,
I
man.
was I was gonna say, like, so why do you do nuzlocke on Pokemon? Because
Why? Because I
why?
hate myself.
I was
I don't
gonna say,
know.
why do you do this to yourself, my
Okay,
man?
explain
Can you
to me,
explain what?
yeah,
Yeah,
explain what a Nuzlocke is, because I want to get into Pokemon, but my first was Let's Go Pikachu, and everyone says that one sucks ass.
His
So
face dropped. Just saw Sam's face
yeah,
go,
no, that's
oh
that's
no.
exactly how everyone reacts when I tell them that I kind of got into Let's Go Pikachu, and then they just look at me weird for the rest of the evening. So
So I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I played Red, Blue, and Yellow when I was younger, and as the years went on, I tried Diamond and Pearl. They didn't click with me. I think I tried Platinum, didn't click with me. Played X and Y, finished X. But I haven't played a ton of Pokemon or finished Pokemon. So I kind of I wanted to keep the kind of Soulsborne ethos in mind.
With
Uh,
Pokemon.
and and Nuzlocke does that, right? So Nuzlocke run, for anybody who doesn't know, there's some base rules, but they're all self-imposed. So you can there's different like clauses that they have. So the rules that I run are pretty much base. So um, when you enter a new route or a new area, you can only catch the first encountered Pokemon. So you enter in, go into the tall grass, trigger a battle, whatever Pokemon that is, that's the only one you can attempt to catch. If you kill it, you can't catch any more Pokemon in that area. If you catch it, cool, move on, but you can't catch any more Pokemon. You can't run from Pokemon battles. So if you're in a battle, you can't even against a wild Pokemon, no running. Um, you have to nickname every Pokemon. You can't leave default names. You have to nickname every single one.
That's probably the only fun part about it.
That is probably the only fun part about it. I will agree with you. And the last thing is I use a duplicate clause, or not next to the last thing. So I use a duplicate clause. So if I go into a new area and I run into a Pokemon, the first encounter I have is with a Pokemon I've already caught. I just kill that one, and then it's the first encounter of a unique Pokemon is considered the first encounter for that area, just so you don't end up duplicating a bunch of Pokemon, so you don't have like a party of Pidgeys going into like
What
the Elite Four or
what's
something.
your least favorite Pokemon you've gotten from doing that run? Like that you had to keep?
I mean, any of them. I mean, it's all like because it's all. Okay, so my history with Nuzlocke currently, and there's one more rule. If a Pokemon faints, it's dead forever. You either have to release it or put it in the PC box. So
The bin.
yeah, you can't. One life to live.
It's like
On
that.
all
It's like
Pokemon.
Burger
that
King,
Toy
just like,
Story
yeah,
meme
bye.
where like Andy is dropping Woody and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'll never see you again."
Not in you anymore.
Yeah. So it's pretty hardcore. If your Pokemon party wipes, like if your entire party wipes, the game's over and you have to start over from the beginning.
Oh. Have you had to
So
do that yet?
I couldn't tell you how many times. Um, so I tried to do some research on which one would be like the easiest to do. And for some reason, wherever I was reading was like, yeah, Heart Gold's the easiest. So I was like, okay, I'll start with Heart Gold. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And it turns out that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are actually two of the hardest games to Nuzlocke.
You were lied to.
Uh,
You
I
you
was
got
lied to.
trolled, dude. Damn.
Yeah, the third gym in Heart Gold the gym leader has a mill tank, and it's super difficult to get past without the proper party composition. You basically need like an execute and something else. And the idea is just to put leech seed on the mill tank and then just keep your Pokemon healed as much as possible until mill tank runs out of rollout move, which I think she can only do that like 10 times. And then you're basically open to destroy the mill tank. But getting to that point is difficult, and you could easily get wiped out before that. And then the gyms just get harder and harder. And then I guess in Heart Gold, they added a bunch of post game stuff that is even harder than that you would have to nuzlocke through. So like the game is like double in size from a normal Pokemon game, or it feels like it is from my perspective. So I was just like, maybe I'll switch. So I did some more research, and I think I failed probably 10, like 5 to 10 runs on Heart Gold,
Fucking hell.
if not more. And I switched to Ruby and Sapphire this past weekend, and I did one Ruby run, and I got really screwed over, and everybody in chat was like, just play red, blue, and yellow. Just nuzlocke red, blue, and yellow because those are the ones you played through. Those are the ones you know. They're simpler. That all Pokemon only have one type. Like it's much easier to nuzlocke those games. So I started that after I wiped on Ruby, and it's going well so far. Kind of. Eh.
We'll
Um,
see.
But yeah, like I picked Squirtle as my starter, and he kind of wipes the floor with the first three gyms. I beat Brock in like 2 minutes. But it's a lot of grinding, a lot of over leveling. You always try and be like, some people impose rules like they can't be any more than like 2 levels higher than the highest level Pokemon the next gym leader has. So
Just
like I
ask
said,
you for a bad time, basically.
yeah, it's just making the game more as challenging as possible, basically. I played Soulsborne, and it makes me hate like myself. I mean, it's the same reason I wanted 100% GTA. Like, it's just like this is going to be a challenge. It's gonna make for decent content, and it has. I've lost there have been some moments in the Nuzlocke runs where I have lost some Pokemon to some bullshit, and it's been rough.
You
It's
can
been
see it on
rough.
your face, like it's just still tragic.
It is. Well, you figure if you spend like I'm obviously using an emulator, so I could fast forward. And
Yeah,
I
but
do with that
Nintendo
when
doesn't
I'm
know
playing.
that. Shh, they don't know that because they'll
No,
fucking take you down. They hate emulators.
yeah, it's fine. Whatever, let them take me down. But yeah, it's just one of those things where even fast forwarding. So when I saved my game, I had 9 hours played, even with fast forwarding. So I realistically played for 4 hours, but I had 9 hours in game.
Yeah.
So you figure you're spending all this time leveling up. I had like 25 hours in a heart gold run and then wiped on the fourth gym. Like it's just so
Oh.
devastating to be like, I wasted so much time like getting the right Pokemon composition, like going back and going to areas that I didn't catch Pokemon in to catch new Pokemon, and spending all the time grinding to level them up, and then getting to the third or fourth gym, and then just getting completely rolled. And you're just like, what was all this for?
That
Like,
sounds like
Why are we still here?
that's the
at least
exact
with
reason
Dark
why I
Souls.
hate Rust, because you'll work on a fucking
Thank
house
you.
for fucking like 6 hours, and some asshole just comes and ruins it all in like the span of 2.5 minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm never doing that ever again. Like,
Exactly. And
Oh.
that's kind of it is very discouraging. At least with like Dark Souls, you just go back to the previous bonfire, and with a Nuzlocke run, you just totally start over. And I know people do hitless runs and stuff in Dark Souls, but
Yeah.
man, it's
Know a
just
few people that do hitless runs. I'm like, you are fucking crazy.
ugh.
absolutely insane.
I've seen people though do hitless run and literally get hit by a wet nurse, and it's like just because her RNG can be such bullshit at times. Like well, I didn't do a hitless run, but on my run of Bloodborne, she did her teleporting move literally 6 times in a space in the same move set, and I was like, why is she still teleporting and completely dicked on me? And I nearly did it first try. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like 6 teleports where she has the fog up. I couldn't believe it. It's even on my stream as well, where I just sit there stunned. I'm like, when is this even possible?
Yeah,
Never happened to anyone else.
it's the worst when you're on your like first try and you're doing so well, and you're just like, oh, I fucking got this, and you just either get too cocky or the game decides to screw you over,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
The game
That's
knows.
that's the same thing that like kind of kills Mortal Kombat a lot of times for me, because you'll be like doing pretty good on like the towers or whatever they're called. I can't remember the name of it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's how
you'll be doing so well, and then they'll just throw one like enemy at you who just keeps spamming the same attack, and you're like, okay, at this point, either let me get up or just chop my fucking dick off. Like, come on, dude.
right.
Like,
the
there's
same with,
only
like-
so much I can do.
It's the same as like online Mortal Kombat and Injustice 2, people just using the same like throwing move with a fucking character, and I'm like, why do you bother playing this game if you just play like
Yeah,
that?
like at that
It's
point, just don't
disgusting.
fucking play, you know?
Like you don't shower. Like what's wrong with you? Go outside.
Touch grass.
I mean, you guys could just play a cultured fighting game like Street Fighter.
I don't like Street Fighter.
What?
Never been a
I'm
fan.
not good at Street Fighter.
Yeah, same. That's the reason I don't play it. Like Injustice and Mortal Kombat and like UFC, I'm really good at, but like Street Fighter I
Well,
can never get
because
to grips with.
in Mortal Kombat, at least I can button spam and kind of do a move. But in fucking Street Fighter, you kind of need to know a lot of the combos. So I just end up only punching and kicking, and then I get my ass beat. So I'm just like,
Are you
fuck.
one of these people that have the actual like joystick and like the big circular buttons? Do you actually have one? Yeah, he does as well. I fucking knew it. I knew it. Yep, one of
Oh
those.
my god.
Yeah, I got it when I was playing Street Fighter 4. Yeah, I'll never not play a fighting game with a stick anymore. Like pads are out. But
You've
yeah,
probably
no,
broken some people's controllers. I won't lie.
that one actually, I punched that one after a Street Fighter 4 match, and I split the circuit board.
Oh my
just cracked it
god.
off.
Holy shit.
So I opened that up and I soldered a jumper
I thought you were gonna be like, I opened that up, and then I proceeded to cry my eyes out.
That was before the soldering.
Oh yeah, there's steps to it. Open,
Yeah, there were stages.
complete depression, and then I fix it. Like,
And then I was like, I can fix this. I can fix this. Got the
So
soldering gun out, some wire.
So you fixed it yourself, even though you destroyed it.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
wasn't
fucking-
spending $100
that's
on
fucking
another
awesome, dude. I wish
That's
I could do
wicked.
that. I can't do that
Yeah.
at all.
That's why I don't break my shit.
Yeah, me too. Because I've tried taking shit apart and I don't know how to fucking put it back together. So I'm just like, dude, if this breaks, I'm fucked. You know.
Kool-Aid's thinking he's Tony Stark over the control.
Yeah, the last time. So there's really when I was younger. And this is gonna show my age, but I was playing. I distinctly remember playing Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 on Super Nintendo when I was little, like 6,
They mention
7.
that in the Bible, don't they?
God damn it! Fuck you.
That's the New Testament. I know that one.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm sorry, bro.
I would get so mad at those games that I would like grab my controller and just like bend it, or I would like just bite it like as hard as I
I
could.
don't understand why people bite shit. Why do people do that? You're a
I was
biter.
little, and I don't do it anymore. But when I was little, like if I go grab my Super Nintendo controllers from the basement, they have bite marks on them.
No.
Yeah, I still have them.
That should be put in a case and sent on what do they call it, an auction.
Yeah, right. I should put them in shadow boxes.
Yeah, fully.
Like war memorabilia, you know.
Buried in the backyard, discovered 40 years later. Why?
You put like some BS backstory behind it. You're like, Leonardo da Vinci bit this controller. It's going on auction for $1 million. Like,
just imagine right after the human race is extinct and like aliens come down, and be like, "This is food."
Right. Yeah,
this has bite marks in it. It must be food.
So I would do that with those controllers. Then there was a time I was playing Halo 3 in my old house, and my old bedroom had a ceiling fan in it, and I sat underneath the ceiling fan, and I got killed by some bullshit, probably battle rifle, and like I was just like shocked, and I just went like, "What the fuck?" And I like threw the controller right above me, and it just got caught in the ceiling fan and went flying across the room. Battery pack off.
It's so
Double
funny,
A batteries
dude.
everywhere.
It's like you just hear the Lego brick break sound effect. Just like,
Just ricocheted it across the room.
That's
So
so
that
funny.
controller has some nicks in it. So that happened. Then
That's great.
then I snapped the board in this fight stick, and then the last time I like had a real rage moment was Bloodborne, and it was the last time I played Bloodborne on PS4, and it was like the last time I played Bloodborne for like 5 years. But I think it was what's after Cleric Beast, because it was only like the second
Father
boss.
Gascoigne.
It might have been Father Gascoigne, but I got really pissed, and I like went to like punch my like I just grabbed my controller like this and like went down into my couch, and it slipped in between like the arm of my couch and the couch cushion, and it bent the left stick, so it like bent it out of place, so I had to take that controller apart and fix it. But that was the last time I really got mad. I was like, because then I had the thing like that Kool-Ace was saying is like, well, if this breaks, I'm gonna have to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Maybe, and not really
the
in
most
place
engineered
to do
like
that.
rager ever. Like considering you just fix shit you break.
What a
I'd be
goddamn
crying.
genius, dude.
What is that? Is that like one of your worst rage moments? Then it's probably the ceiling fan one, or is that like is there a worse one?
Probably the Street Fighter one, I'd probably say is the worst, and then the Halo one with the ceiling fan, and then that Bloodborne one.
Dude, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall and just see it just levitate right into the ceiling fan.
Yeah, because that was it. Because I just like tossed it. Like, what the fuck? Like, just it wasn't even like I threw it up. It was just like I just went like, what the fuck? And like it just went above me.
Dude, at that point, it's like a controller. You just got fucking duck and cover and hope to God you don't die, you know? Like,
I bet once that thing pegged off, I bet you went fucking.
you just
Oh,
like,
I was down. I was down. And I was like, it was
Why
immediately
is
like, oh, I've made a great mistake.
why is everything so much funnier when a ceiling fan is involved?
Throwing
Holy
stuff into
shit.
ceiling fans is always funny.
Cool. Have you actually got like a rage? I've never actually asked because you never seem to rage like whenever I played with you. So like, have you actually ever raged like so hard at something?
Oh,
It's
dude,
like,
no, I don't think I've ever like broken anything because I know that I'm poor, so I've never broken anything. But if
respect.
you have ever watched me play through any of the Souls games, I rage. Like I will have a tough time. Like I've gotten better at it though, since I'm like a streamer now. I like to take my rage and just fuel it into me saying like some dumbass sentences that make absolutely no sense. Like I was fighting Papa G in Bloodborne, and he was like fucking beating my ass. I'm like, I just started screaming like, "Bend me over, just bend me over and fuck me like I'm Samuel Jackson," and I just started saying like some stupid out of nowhere shit. So like that's the point where I tried to like stop just getting angry and I just try to fuel it into entertainment. But there are points
Yep.
where I snap. And I just like
Yeah, I
there
have
are
as well.
plenty of moments where I just walk out of my room. Like on stream, I've had moments in Elden Ring, specifically against Radon. I had to just walk out of my room, dude. I was just like, I'm done. And then sometimes I'll like go to get a fucking snack or something, and then I'll come back like 3 minutes later, and I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? Like, ah, fuck, man.
I've punched this challenge. I've punched this challenge screen, but like the moments where
I
like, I was
think I've
defeating a
seen
really hard
that.
boss. Yeah, there's one where. Oh, right, this is really going to show this. Sorry, by the way, Sam. You've probably never seen this, but there was. I can't remember what boss it was. No, it was it was KOS on Bloodborne, and I was having such a hard time with it. And I finally did. I had an absolute perfect run with it, RNG and everything. As soon as I beat it, I like threw my controller on the floor. I turned like it just started cheering out of my chair, and then I just turned around and started slapping my ass on camera for like no fucking reason.
I've seen that.
Like,
Dude, one of my favorite
oh,
rage
man.
clips ever is from my friend Chad. He's an Australian, and he was playing through I don't know what it's called. It's like one of those binge things where you have to like fight through a bunch of enemies on Hollow Knight.
Like
I
a
can't
boss
remember what
gauntlet?
it's called. Yeah, he was doing a gauntlet. And there was one time where he died, and he just started like smacking the shit out of his chair, and then he threw his controller, and you could visibly see it bounce off the floor into another room. Like it did a full bounce. That shit was so fucking funny, man. Holy shit.
Full send on the controller.
Yeah, dude, he did not. There was no hesitation. He just fucking yeeted that bitch, and I just saw it fly, man. Oh my god, it was so funny.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think my worst rage moment on stream was actually Link to the Past. I was trying to beat a Link to the Past in one day, and it was the boss. Oh, I forget what the name of the boss is. Let me look it up. But he has the fire and ice tails. Um, Link.
I wouldn't
You
know
guys are
because
probably
I didn't
yeah.
play Zelda.
You guys are probably too young to remember. You know,
Too
you guys
young.
are
I'm
probably
25. I'm not that fucking
yeah.
young.
You're probably still shitting in diapers if you even haven't.
You still get me back for that testament, fucking joke.
It is Helmasar King. But he shoots fire, but then will put down ice like underneath. And if you don't know Zelda, when there's ice, you like get real slippery. If you played Mario, like you know
Yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of feeling of
Yeah.
running on ice. Same thing, but like several times in a row, I would get stuck on the ice, be in just like the stupidest RNG pattern with like what he's throwing at you and the way he's moving and the way I'm stuck moving on this ice. And I would just either accidentally run into him or fall off. And when you fall off, you just go to like the floor before it, and then you have to walk all the way back up and start the fight over. And I yelled so fucking loud, like after like the third or fourth time of that happening, because it's not a difficult fucking game, but like just the RNG of it was fucking me
That
over
would
time
piss
and
me
time
off,
again, and I
dude.
got so mad.
I fucking hate
Yeah,
RNG in video games.
Yeah.
yeah, it was stupid. It was dumb.
I say the only other thing I say, like I've screamed into this microphone like so loud before in like Overwatch, I've been like chat banned for like 3 days. Like imagine it's an XLR mic as well. You imagine how fucking loud that is for everyone else.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
I've probably raged at Call of Duty,
yeah.
but yeah, man. Fuck. I try not to. I really do. I try not to.
Don't
rage
we
at
try to
all?
bear ourselves.
Don't we
We're
all,
trying to
man?
bear ourselves.
Like everybody's coming here to relax and shit, or like have a good time, have a laugh. Like nobody wants to sit there and watch me just yell, like and be frustrated with something. But you hit a point. You hit a breaking point. Like
You've probably heard me high pitched squeal before on stream. I can't remember any not being around for that. Where I like just like because I can't physically shout because like my neighbors will call the police, so I just high pitched squeal for no reason because it's the only way I can get all that frustration out. But it's like the most stupid thing I could possibly do.
Like I have half a mind to just like get one of those punching bags or like one of those desktop punching bags just to have.
Oh,
Like,
I thought
right
about getting one of
next
those
to me.
kickboxing mannequins, like the one that's like shaped like a dude. I thought about
Yeah.
just slapping the shit out of it like next to me.
You have the perfect spot for it right behind you.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Just turn up, throw the chair in, just start punching on the floor. I should probably get one of those. It'd be great.
Need to see this.
Oh my god, you should put a button on like if you ever get I don't know if you have a stream deck, but you should just push a button where like it changes cams and there's just like a head mounted cam on the dummy. So like
So you're just like dumbing at it.
Yeah, you can just be punching the shit out of chat. That'd be funny as fuck.
That's actually genius.
Oh my god.
Brilliant.
Oh bloody yeah.
Beautiful.
I was gonna say, should we call it there, boys? Because I think we've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long.
Time flies.
Exactly. It was great though. Like, you know what I mean, I was enjoying it a lot.
Fuck
So.
yeah, dude.
Like
Yeah,
it's
really good
nearly
time.
3 a.m. in UK time for me. I need to go.
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
pop. I need to go have some ramen and go to bed.
yeah, for sure.
I'm
Oh,
gonna go binge more Attack on Titan. So it's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, wait, who's outro in this?
I mean,
Unless
I
Zam,
could
you want to
try.
do it, mate?
I don't know how this goes. I'm not doing it.
All right,
Well, so
guys.
anyway,
Well, that
thanks
was
for watching this week.
no. Shut up. That was it, guys. There we go. Another episode of the Depression Podcast, the reboot, the Depressioning. There we go. All right, it's been. This has been another episode of the Degenerates podcast. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time because I have. Okay, so again, thanks to our guest, and all of his links will be provided down below. And if you don't click every single one, I will make sure to come to your house and delete your Minecraft save. So you better do it, dude. You better do it.
The stakes are high.
Honestly, dude, they can't be any higher. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
mate. It's been funny, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you boys next week. Yeah. All
See
the
ya.
links in
Yeah.
the description of everyone here.
Awesome.
And also comment at the times you saw Kool-Aid eat yellow rice. All right.
Yes.
See you boys in a bit. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Saw you nibbling.